You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go!
What is that? Oh, look out for Pyramid Head, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 161. I am one of your hosts, the perennial dating app swiper from Portland, Oregon, the number one hater on the internet, Christian Macias, and I'm joined over Discord by Kentucky's number one Spartan and coziest PXN founder, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM.
Number two hater.
Fantastic. And our number three hater, the president of the Tifa Lockhart fan club, the Nintendo aficionado and artist extraordinaire himself at Roro.
Hello, hater number three. I can never hate you guys though.
Oh,
I love that.
Wow.
I don't hate that. Of course, our fourth hater is off working. He's a working boy today, but he'll be back next week and the week after. Sending love to Gilbo Biggins, aka Gage Dempster, the Tarkov Teletubby. Folks, thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern over on YouTube. Just search Podcast PXN. We're also on twitch.tv/podcastpxn and no other websites. So if you see a fake PXN, report it. The topic of the show this week is Silent Hill 2 Remake, aka the survival horror renaissance in full effect. But first, the show always starts with the PXN news of the week. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, everybody. Sorry, timestamps. Let's jump into some quick bites. Got a couple of news stuff I want to cover before we get into our actual news chunky items we'll actually have discourse about. First quick bite. Spider-Man Miles Morales is coming to PC. It is launching November 18th. Very cool to have the first Spider-Man game and now the second one. Be excited for possible Spider-Man 2 whenever that comes out. A year after? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, probably a year after release.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, this is great. I hope people enjoy it. It looks fantastic on PC.
Yeah.
heck yeah.
By the way, like when they uncap frame rates on PC for the Spider-Man games, like just watching Spider-Man swing around, it always looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to our second news item here. Valve has registered a new trademark called Neon Prime. A lot of speculation as to what they were doing. And it could be, and I have this link here from a person who's tweeting, Gabe Follower.
Nice.
Is that in reference to what's his name? Gabe
Newell.
Newell?
Yeah, I think so.
Former Valve developer said that Neon Prime might be related to unannounced faster than light like shipbuilding game. This Final Flame dude is kind of trusted because he confirmed Valve's return to creating game consoles way before Steam Deck announcement. So could be that for all you faster than light fans. I don't know how many. I never even heard about this game until today.
Me either.
Same. I'm sure people are excited that Valve is potentially returning to making games though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe make a third game in like literally any of your franchises, Valve, please.
They did. It's called Half-Life Alyx, and it's critically acclaimed.
That's a cop-out.
Got him, folks. There was a couple of Dead Space previews going around the internet. I stopped to watch the IGN Dead Space preview just because. I think I was eating or doing something. I was like, let's put this on YouTube. So I watched, and a couple of notes for you. It's a one-take game. Of course, we knew that a couple of weeks ago. I think that was announced. But again, we want to reiterate that it is a one-take game, much like Dead Space 2, much like God of War. Very cool. My personal favorite bit of news here from Dead Space is that they added something called the Intensity Director. What does that mean? Well, let me tell you about it. It means there is no more safety when you are backtracking in the Ishimura. They made it scarier. There are, quote, hundreds of events that can happen to keep the tension high in the game. So if you're backtracking to get some more items or what have you, be on the lookout because you may see more, not necromorphs. Are they necromorphs?
Yeah.
Yeah, just out and about, just coming, stuff hissing around. Hundreds of things that can happen. So be on your toes.
That's
terrifying. And something else, right? Isn't that cool though? Come on.
Yes. That is very cool. But like, I'm the type of person that I would go out and clear the room and then go back and get a bunch of items because I'm like, all right, it's safe now. But now you
Me
can't
too.
do that.
I realize that there's no shot I'm playing this game at night. Like it's gonna be during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final little tidbit here. There's a peeling system that adds layers of flesh to enemies. So as you're shooting it, you're gonna see a bunch of skin coming out, which I found really cool. It's also apparently on other like like people in the game as well. Like there are like other. You'll see.
Motive doing great work with this remake.
Yeah. Honestly, there's a chance it might be like maybe not like the benchmark for remake games. I think RE2 remake is probably the benchmark for me personally. But that conversation might happen. Like this might be like one of the best remakes of like a little modern era, a little renaissance of survival horror games.
Absolutely.
Moving on. NVIDIA is unlaunching the GeForce RTX 4080 12GB graphics card. I got a quote from them here as to why they're doing this. The RTX 4080 12GB is a fantastic graphics card, but it's not named right. Having two GPUs with the 4080 designation is confusing. So the 4080 16GB is still on track for November 16th launch. The 12GB is not.
Rip.
Okay, I also have no more to add there either.
I think they'll probably just rebrand this as one of the lower end cards, like 4070, or some people said maybe a 4070 Ti. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But still, to unlaunch it, just well, I guess if there's like stuff on it, you want to have it like, yeah, okay, no, I take it back.
Yeah, because the 16 gig version is still coming November 16th, which is more powerful. So, yeah.
Yep. This next news item maybe should have been on the actual news of the week docket, but I think we'll all have similar thoughts, so I don't think there's any kind of discussion to be had. Comcast has pulled the plug on G4 TV. There are hundreds of people now out of employment, which sucks. Yeah, heart goes out to all people who are also very shitty that they just announced it that way and didn't send any kind of memos or emails to the actual workers of the company who found out via news just on Twitter. That's a really shitty practice. We're seeing too much of that recently. Yeah, just G4 TV did not survive its own comeback, which is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. Very upsetting. What was the other company that did this recently? Was it Game Informer? Where they just like... What was the company that said it online and that's how people found it? Fanbyte.
Fanbyte was, yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. So that's crazy. I can't believe that that's just the way that they seem to be doing things right now. Yeah, that's really sad. And they just came back, like you were saying. So sad that it didn't last.
About a year ago.
That was horrible planning by the people in the higher ups, because it's like, who wants to launch a cable TV channel like nowadays? Like, I don't know. They did not do that the right way, I don't think.
Yeah. If this was like a smaller startup and you, like, I think, Dan, you were saying exactly this, like, you just build it up a smaller and it gets bigger over time. Like, maybe start on YouTube. I'm sure it'll have been great if that's where it started, but yeah.
And I think it probably would have still have kept going if it was like a smaller team that just started on streaming platforms. It could have been, and I get it. Like they wanted to recapture what it was, what it used to be back when it was on TV. But like the reality is, like things have shifted. There are hundreds of personalities online for stuff like this now. It's not just Kevin Pereira or whatever. So shame though, and it kind of sucks. But that's business, I suppose. I have one small news item. This is a big dub for me. Lance McDonald has figured out a way to make PT playable on PS5. This man is a god. I love Lance McDonald. Been following him for a little while. Yeah, no other thing for me to say there. Just very cool that Konami has like gated PT to be played on PS5, and lo and behold, he finally found a way. Very cool. Like on the week of Silent Hill 2 remake being announced. Yeah, very cool.
That's awesome.
I should find out how to do this. I think you have to download like a jailbroken version of the game via USB and then play it that way. I think, but I won't speak to that now. Instead, I'll move on to our next item. There's another showcase happening this week. Tomorrow, the Resident Evil showcase is scheduled for October 20th at 3 p.m. Pacific. It's going to feature Resident Evil Village Gold Edition, which I think launches next week, I think. Probably also some stuff about Reverse, the online multiplayer game, I think, from Resident Evil, as well as going to get probably a deeper look at Resident Evil 4, which to me is the meat and potatoes of the showcase. Very excited for RE4. Hope it's good.
Yeah, same. RE4, yes. Show us lots of it. Or not too much, but yeah.
Just enough, right?
Just enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think during the PlayStation showcase, or I guess State of Play, like they had like a second one, right? Like it was Capcom. They showed like 10, 15 seconds of like gameplay. It's like, that's a tease. Like we want a little bit more. And tomorrow should hopefully be the day. Yeah. Very cool. Next news item here. Project Renee has been revealed. It is the next-gen Sims game. For all you Sims fans, get excited.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a really long time. I mean, Sims 4 is super popular still. And
when did that come out? Like, I feel like it's been like ages since that came out.
Yeah. 2016? I want to say.
No kidding. Really?
Yeah.
2014.
2014. Wow. Yeah,
Wow.
That's crazy. So yeah, I guess it's about time.
And it might be 10 years, it's like between games, because Project Renee is still early in development.
Yeah.
According to this tweet. So yeah. Dude, we should make our little PXN Sims. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah.
Very cool.
Just out and about. Moving on. Daniel shared this. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that I already had this in the docket, so it was redundant. Microsoft is building an Xbox mobile gaming store to take on Apple and Google. This is, first of all, insane. Like what Microsoft is doing to again, I say this almost every week. What Microsoft is doing to like remove barriers, get their games everywhere is like crazy to me every single week. And this is big to have fucking Xbox games on mobile devices, like via their own store, cut out all the middlemen, is crazy. Dan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm wondering how this is gonna work on Apple specifically, because obviously the App Store is the only thing that works right now for that. So I don't know how they're gonna do that, or maybe the Epic Games versus Apple trial has opened up something for them there. I don't know.
Probably.
But yeah, that's super interesting, because obviously Amazon has its own app store on Android already that competes with Google. So I guess that'll be a third option on there for people to get stuff. I guess this will be more focused on gaming, but who knows in the future what that might be. Or maybe Microsoft will just abandon it like Mixer. So who knows?
At least they tried.
Yeah.
And when you said I wonder how Microsoft is going to get around this, I was trying to think, like, can you buy PlayStation games on the PlayStation app? And I think you can, like, if you just like open it and then go to the PlayStation Store thing. So maybe it won't be as difficult as we think. They just install the Microsoft app and you'll be able to download or pay for the Xbox games through the thing.
I think that's a little bit different though, because like when you buy them on games on the app, like it's just like a storefront, you know,
Right.
like you're still gonna play stuff on your PlayStation.
On the PlayStation, yeah.
Whereas this is like if I'm buying stuff on my iPhone or whatever, like
You're sending
it's
to play
meant
it
to.
there.
Yeah, you're taking away from like the App Store games, essentially, right?
Like natively building first party games on
Apple.
Yeah.
On mobile. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I'm excited to see. Like you said, like this is awesome that they're at least trying to get their games in as many places as possible. I'm excited for that. Yeah.
What are the odds we get another lawsuit from Apple or
God.
another company?
That's
Google? I don't know.
That's actually a good point. Like maybe Microsoft is, this is going to sound bad, but maybe they're trying to bait Apple into another lawsuit, because like if they build this store and say we want to launch this on iOS and Apple says no, then that may be like grounds for them to go to some kind of trial or something again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We shall see. We shall see.
Indeed.
This next news item is again only for me. An in-person and online streaming Elden Ring event is set with Grammy Award-winning jazz artist Kenny Garrett and famous trumpeter Takuya Kuroda. That is happening in Los Angeles and online, December 3rd, and they're going to be playing the score from Elden Ring, but with a jazz twist, also with a bit of a jazz improvisational twist. Listen, I'll be online December 3rd, probably eating a gummy and watching this damn thing.
Happy for you. This sounds awesome.
Happy for me. Thank you.
I wish they would do this shit more often for other franchises, like stream it online. That's awesome that they're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have like these kinds of content all the time, right? They did like Final Fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, I ended up to you, bro. You had other examples, I'm sure.
Kirby, Sonic, they did.
Yeah, the Sonic.
Yeah, those are the most recent ones that I could think of. I think they did a Kingdom Hearts one as well a while ago. That one was really cool. But yeah, I want them to do this for more franchises too, Dan. Like that would be awesome.
Persona.
Oh,
Persona. Oh yeah.
Destiny.
Yeah.
Destiny. I don't know if they did. I feel like they did, but I don't know off the top of my head if they.
I think they also did a Zelda one.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Anyway, there you have it. December 3rd. Elden Ring fans get excited. So just me. Another news item just for me. Sasha Grey will voice Ash, a new character in the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 DLC, Phantom Liberty. All you Sasha Grey fans, get excited for her role as Ash in the DLC.
Let's go.
Okay. That is the last quick bite. Let us move over into Street Meat. We have, or Scuttlebutt Lane, as some like to call it. We have one news item here, and this comes from Video Games Chronicle? I think it's Video Games Chronicle.
I always just say VGC. I have no idea.
VGC. This comes from VGC. Call of Duty may not appear on Game Pass for a number of years. Oops. Drop my pen. Due to a prior Activision Sony deal. And I'm not going to lie to you. Did I forget to read this and write down bullet points so I can talk to you about it? Perhaps.
That's okay.
So let's just talk about it, the headline.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say this has nothing to do with the story. It's Video Games Chronicle. If anybody was interested.
Oh, thank you, bro. Yeah.
But
now the important stuff's out of the way.
Yeah, let's get to the story. This is so I get it though. Like I understand why they want to do stuff like this, but it's just so annoying. Xbox owns Activision Blizzard now. They should be able to do what they want with it, and if it's putting it on Game Pass and it's not even exclusive. It's just for the Xbox people to play it. But I understand why PlayStation would want this not to happen, just for the people to play it on their console and spend more money there, instead of people buying an Xbox subscription and paying less money for it and all that jazz. But
yeah.
Well,
that's the thing, right? Like if it's on Game Pass, people are going to get it on Xbox or PC, which means people are not buying it on PlayStation, which means Sony is not getting a cut of those profits. And like money talks, baby. Like that is all these companies care about, right? So
and
like it's a large concern, I'm sure. But does it come off as petty? 1000%.
And I mean, if the CMA has anything to do with it, that Microsoft may not own Activision, bro, because they're currently investigating the deal, and they've been the biggest hurdle, I guess, for Microsoft so far. I think it's interesting though, because there's rumors online that the year is 2024 that this would go through, so that's only 2 more years. So essentially, Modern Warfare 2 and the next Call of Duty, whatever that ends up being, since they're on a 2-year cycle, those would be the only 2 that wouldn't be able to be on Game Pass, which wouldn't be that big of a deal, I don't think, even if Microsoft does end up finishing their acquisition of Activision. But Yeah, I think their deal is kind of up in the air right now with the CMA questioning things. I just hope that things get better at Activision Blizzard, whether that means Microsoft buying them and things getting better, or fire Bobby Kotick and fucking start there. I mean,
Amen. Amen.
so
Dan, you said it best. So what instead we're going to do is move on to PXN News of the Week. That is it for your Street Meet. Let's head over into our big stories that happened this week. We're going to mosey on over into the controller corner, so everybody get cozy. We got a couple things dropping here. The biggest one happening this week, I think. Well, I say that, but the conversation is about them together. So I'll start with what happened first. This is in the morning, a couple days ago. Design Lab opens up for the Xbox Elite controller, and that starts at $149 US. You can go to Design Lab and customize your very own Design Lab Elite controller, mix some colors around, get your little parts in there, and buy that sucker.
Beautiful
Dan.
controllers.
yo,
Damn.
Talk to me about this. You went
yes.
in, you started designing, Gage started designing, you pick it up.
I did, and I originally I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it because I've had so many documented issues with the Elite Series 2 that I've talked about on here, including my Master Chief version that I have. But miraculously, the Master Chief controller that I have has started working properly now, because my issue with that one was the B button was sticking. But I guess I played with it so long that I unstuck it somehow, because now it works perfect. So that's funny. But anywho, yeah, I ended up customizing this, and I was actually surprised that they're selling it standalone instead of like with the whole kit. So it's obviously cheaper because of that. It's $149 instead of, the normal one is $179.99. So I was like, all right, I'll get it. They got me. Customizable Elite controller. I love it. I love customizing this shit. It's so good.
You could even design the little pouch too.
Yeah.
The color for the
Now that is an additional charge if you want that as well. But I chose just to do the controller only. But they let you do the accessories kit too, and you can choose all the colors there too. This is very cool.
This is like when I buy my new Liverpool kit before the start of a new season, and I can choose to put the Premier League pouch on the sleeve. I can put the Champions League pouch if they win. I can put a name on the back, just like that. Just like that. Now, this is interesting because on the same day, PlayStation dropped their trailer for the DualSense Edge, and in it we got details that is launching next year, January 26th, a couple months away. It is priced at $199 US, and pre-orders start next week. Now, why is this interesting? Well, one, the most importantly is that price point. That is an expensive controller. Dropping on the same day as the Design Lab. Sorry, I keep saying Design Lab. As the Xbox Elite controller Design Lab. $50. Like, the big question was like, can they prove that this is like, that price point is justified? Because it's the first time they're going into this kind of hardware, like a pro controller. Like, they've partnered up with Scuff before. Like, they make good controllers, right? The DualSense Edge so far the DualSense period has been worked for me pretty well. But is the pro controller gonna last long and justify it? Gonna last long in the long run for me to justify $200? I don't know yet.
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself. I'm usually not the target audience for these types of things anyway. I always just like look at them from a side and it's like, wow, that's really cool, and that's usually the end of it for me. I don't usually buy the fancy controllers, but from what I've seen in the trailer, it seems like I'm getting enough out of the DualSense right about now, and I don't know if, again, like, you guys may be able to tell me that no, this is worth it. Like what they're showing off is worth that $199, but for what I'm seeing, it isn't for me. Again, I'm not usually the audience for this anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know if I need that controller, the controller profile button really, and the button mapping, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I can remind you what's in it. It's pretty similar to the Elite controller as well. There's got some similarities. The DualSense Edge this is nice, a USB braided cable. It's always nice to have nicer cables, in my opinion.
Yeah.
2 standard caps, 2 high dome caps, 2 low dome caps, 2 so you can interchange the buttons on, or the sticks on the actual controller.
Yes, and that is really good because all these controllers these days have the
Drift,
and you can't really fix that. And this is kind of combating that. If you could just make a controller that didn't do that, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to do that,
I agree.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Honestly, this is the best thing for me. Like, why I would consider maybe getting one is like if I ever do get drift in the future, just change out the caps. Be nice to just buy additional caps on their own. So if that happens, moving on. Also, you get 2 half dome back buttons, or you can switch those out to have the lever back buttons if you prefer those. Connector housing. I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure either.
What is the connector? Yeah, I know that. Well, I think this. Okay, I know what this is. I was watching the video, and this. I'm just holding it, just my DualSense, just to kind of illustrate. The housing, I think, goes into where the USB-C is, and then you connect the cable there, and then you can lock it. So if you move around, the cable doesn't actually disconnect. If I have that right. And then it's very similar to the Elite controller or carrying case. Again, $200, you get all this stuff. Is it worth it? Dan.
I will say, like the most intriguing thing is the whole stick replacement thing. I think that's really great, and I kind of hope that Microsoft does a similar thing with their next iteration. But I think like the 2 most failure points on controllers is usually, stick drift, like you guys said before, and also face buttons as well. So I just hope that these controllers, in terms of face buttons, are going to last the lifetime of the controller, even if you need to replace the sticks, because that would kind of suck. I do have one question, though. I would like to see how much they're going to charge for those replacement sticks, because it's like that may factor into your decision if this is worth it or not. This is $200, and if you're saying like I have to pay $50 for new sticks, a year and a half from now or whatever, that may factor in. Yeah.
Just get a new regular controller if that's the case. Yeah.
I don't know if that would be the case. Like Control Freak, like their sticks were like what, like $25 for like a case of 3 different ones. I doubt. You got a good point though. It is Sony,
and it's the entire mechanism, right? It's not just the top,
You're
section.
Right. You're right.
So
yes, good point.
Yeah, and just to clarify one thing as well, you were comparing earlier the 149 Design Lab controller to this, which isn't necessarily a fair comparison for the DualSense Edge, because that doesn't come with any of the accessories and such. This would more so compare to the Elite Series 2 that costs $179. So it's essentially $20 more than the Series 2 that comes with all the, the case and everything. So
nifties.
Yeah. So I guess that's also another question. I'm like, why is this $20 more? Like the regular DualSense is $10 more than the Xbox controller already, which that makes sense there. But then why is this $20 more? It just seems a little goofy to me.
I mean, I don't know. Just maybe it has to do with the price of
components.
Something to do with the haptic feedback and the adaptive trigger that drives up costs and the actual components. Yeah. One thing that the article doesn't mention either is that it also has like the 2 little adjustment things on the bottom of the controller. I forget what one controls. One does something, I can't remember what, but the other one controls like volume balance for chat and game. Normally you'd have to go into the actual like dashboard of the PlayStation and like fuddle around menus to change stuff and just balance it out there. Now you can just click that and then hold separate buttons that you map to and adjust their things on the fly, which if you're a competitive player, I guess, is easier. So yeah, I don't know. It seems a little expensive. Maybe I might wait a couple months after reviews, see how people are liking it a few months out once people have tested it in longer sessions. I mean, it's cool they're finally getting in the business, but we'll see how their first attempt at it goes. I mean, I guess I did buy into the in-zone headphones, didn't I?
You're in the zone.
I'm in the zone.
AutoZone. We're now sponsored by AutoZone.
Yes.
I wish. I would like a new car battery just for some.
Why not?
Why not? Guys, can you see me doing this?
I can.
What if I did this faster? 60 frames per second faster.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm capped at 30. Much like Gotham Knights on consoles is going to be locked at 30 frames per second. No performance mode available upon launch. This came from a developer announced in a Discord a week before the game launches. If you click this hyperlink, we can go into the actual quote here. Read you the full thing. This comes from Fleur Marty. Hello, everyone in the Discord. I know many of you are wondering about the availability of a performance mode for Gotham Knights on consoles. Due to the types of features we have in our game, like providing a fully untethered co-op experience in our highly detailed open world, it's not as straightforward as lowering the resolution and getting a higher FPS. For this reason, our game does not have a performance/quality toggle option and will run at 30 frames per second on consoles. I'm going to stop there because I also have some notes about PC requirements, but I'm going to stop there. Point blank, how do you feel about 30 frames per second? No 60 FPS on next-gen consoles, Xbox Series Suite and PlayStation 5.
Personally,
Sorry, go for it, Dan. Go for it, Dan. Sam.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, personally, I don't have a huge problem with this if the game is good. Like, in my opinion, like, yes, I get this gen has been all about 60 FPS mode and all of that, and I would love to see options for that. Like, I think that's the biggest disappointment here is that they're not giving us options for that. But like, you know, even Ratchet and Clank at launch, I played that game in 30 frames per second on the PS5. And that was in the quality mode because that was before they had a patch, like I think a month later or so, that they ended up doing like a
Performance RT?
Yes, Performance RT, exactly, which that's the mode I ended up playing with eventually. But originally I was playing that in 30 FPS. What? Oh, sorry.
I think you have it backwards. Miles Morales launched a month later with Performance RT. They updated that later. But Ratchet launched with Performance RT. That's what I played it in.
Oh. Maybe I'm thinking of Miles then. Anywho, and I personally didn't have an issue with 30 FPS. Like, I mean, we played games all last gen on 30 FPS, and I know we were in a different time and all of that, but I think personally, like, if the game is in the direction that it needs to be and like the game feels good, I think that's the most important thing. I do think it would, benefit to have an option of 60 FPS, but I personally don't think it's the end of the world.
Bro, are you feeling similar? Do you care about more frames?
I feel similar in the sense where I don't care about more frames, but I do think that in our generation, I think it is most gamers are expecting to see that number, and I think Dan, you agree with that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and there's other open world games on consoles that I think look better than Gotham Knight that are running at 60 frames per second. Those games are probably single player, so maybe that's the reason that they couldn't do it. I'm not sure what held them back, but I'm sure you're going to talk about like the PC requirements soon. But it's interesting to see that they weren't able to do that on consoles. But yeah, I'm not a person that really cares about the frames per second, but I am always impressed when I see it in like my games that I'm playing. But I'm like Dan, if the game feels good, I don't really care all that much.
Well, funny you say if the game feels good. Higher frame rates, like that feels really, it makes a huge difference. There has been comparison videos left and right on games being played at 30 versus 60. Like there was one that shared of like God of War 2018.
Yeah.
Like that game is like it's huge difference. I was playing Destiny 2 at 60 frames.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
So you play that at 60 frames when you're playing the story. You jump into Crucible where you can play at 120 hertz. And that difference is insane how like smooth that game is. Yeah. I think especially if you're want like a smooth experience when you're playing a co-op game, you want into like, especially like a character action game, you want things to feel smooth. Locked it. Tell me.
Sorry, that's a great point though, Christian, because like I play Halo Infinite a ton, as you guys know, and I play in the 120 hertz mode in Halo Infinite. So like when I go from that to a game that's 30 FPS, it is a very jarring difference. So I totally understand that, and and definitely hear people when they have that complaint. I will counter though, like I played The Last of Us Part 1 in quality mode, and that was 40 FPS with VRR, and I had a great time with that. I absolutely loved it. So it can work, you know?
I mean, sure. And actually, I was actually, when The Last of Us remastered first came out, I was actually anti-frame rate at that point. I wanted it at the lower frame rate because I thought it looked better when it was closer to the cinematic experience. If you will go watch a movie, movies are filmed at 24 frames per second. That's the standard for cinema. So anything higher just looks weird. So when it was like, I was seeing The Last of Us cutscenes at a higher frame, it's like, no, the movie effect is gone. And like, there's a time and place for that. But I think when it's a character-based action game, co-op action game, I think you want to have a smoother experience. I think the weirdest thing about this is the way it was announced and the timing of its announcement. Like, they should have probably been more transparent about it. Earlier, and if they decide to announce it, maybe do so in a more of a public manner and not a Discord. Is my thing.
One person it didn't sway though, Christian, Glenn, already pre-ordered the digital deluxe edition of the game.
I mean, Glenn was excited for like months. He's been talking about Gotham Knights. Like, I'm sure I'm sure Glenn doesn't care.
No.
There were some people who were vocal about canceling their pre-orders though.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Like, if you're paying a premium for these next gen consoles, you want to have like a next gen experience, have that feel. So yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. Ro mentioned the PC requirements as well. I think I forgot to link that. Gage might have sent that, so I'm trying to look for that now. But the minimum requirements for PC for 1080p 60 was a little strange. Tell me, Dan, I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. I think it was like the Ryzen 5 5700. Is that right?
3600.
3600. Yeah.
Way
off. But yeah, that's insane. That's very high.
Yeah.
Requirements.
And so it seems like a lot of people, and Gage included, and some people in this Twitter thread that I'm reading, seem to be speculating that it might just be poor optimization from the, what is it, WB Montreal, I think, making Gotham Knights?
Yes.
From their part. So we're going to have to wait and see. Yeah, I think it's kind of a bummer overall. To have, on top of the console news, to have like, you got to have high specs to run the game at 1080 60. It's a little strange to me.
Yep.
What you gonna do though? What you gonna do?
Feel like Batman. Feel like Batman at 30 frames per second. We'll see.
Who said that?
I said that.
Put it on the box. Our last bit of news here. This has been insane.
Oh boy.
Trouble with Bayonetta 3's voice actor. We're going to kind of run you through the story and discuss as we move along. Earlier in the week, voice actor of Bayonetta, the title character of the series, Helena Taylor, came out, posted a video, essentially saying that she was offered only $4,000 for voicing the entire game, and asking people to boycott the series, the franchise, Bayonetta 3, etc. To which I said, yes, Helena Taylor, I am by your side. I will do whatever you tell me to do. $4,000 for the whole game that you helped create, that you were like pretty much you are the reason why I love this franchise. I'll back you any day. Absolutely. To which then later, Hideki Kamiya, is it Hideki? Yeah, Hideki Kamiya tweeted, sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth in reference to Helena Taylor's video, saying, that's all I can tell now. That's what all I can tell now. By the way, beware of my rules. Very, very strange tweets. Of course, he's tweeting in Japanese and translating into English, so we understand why it's a little bit odd. But like, beware of my rules is just such a weird thing to do. He went on to mass block hundreds of people who were like in his replies.
Those are the rules.
Subsequently getting flagged by Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, he has like a bunch of Twitter rules on his like pinned tweet, and it's like, if you don't follow them, get ready to be blocked. And one of those is if you tweeted him in English. So don't do that.
Yeah, don't tweet it. Yeah.
Unless you want to get blocked.
Yeah.
And he has a long history of this. Like after Scalebound got canceled, like there was a whole lot of stuff he was saying, and it was crazy.
So it all
Yeah,
started
his
there.
online presence is something, I guess. It's a presence. So what this did is start two things. There was people who were, you know, I almost said blackmail, boycotting the game. People who were, attacking Platinum Games for having an offer this egregious. People who were actually going after Jennifer Hale, who is the new voice actor of Bayonetta now for Bayonetta 3. To which Jennifer Hale had to respond and basically say, I didn't know. Things are under NDA. Like you don't normally. Oh, there goes Ro. Oh, he's back.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Roshan?
We lost.
Essentially, people were getting hate. Sorry, Jennifer Hale was getting hate, but she didn't know, right? There are contracts, there are NDAs, these things happen, and she just accepted the role. We don't know how much she was offered, if it was any different, what have you. Just leave Jennifer Hale alone. And this is where the actual news item comes to the crux and where our discussion begins. Turns out, via a Jason Schreier Bloomberg report, Platinum Games actually attempted to rehire Helena, paying between $3,000 and $5,000 per session, not for game, with 5 sessions total at least for the whole game, meaning that is between $15,000 and $25,000 for voicing Bayonetta. This is on top of residuals that she was offered as well, which would have been great. I think in an industry where voice actors don't normally get residuals, where their attempts to unionize and strike or asking for residuals where they had to back down from that, this would have been very great for Helena Taylor. Reportedly, she actually refused that and asked for a 6-figure sum plus residuals. Oh, I'm sorry. I think she was offered a bonus. I take that back. I got my own notes wrong. She was offered $3,000 to $5,000 plus a bonus. She wanted 6 figures plus residuals, to which Platinum declined. They also then actually offered her a cameo role because they still wanted her in it and they still wanted to pay her some money. She declined and said, F you, screw you. She didn't actually say that. I'm saying that. Taylor responds to Bloomberg saying this is all an absolute lie. Platinum is trying to save their ass and the game. And then finally, BGC corroborates Bloomberg's report saying, no, it's actually, this is what we have from our sources. This is what happened as well. Turns out Helena might have been lying. There's a very long, tell me.
My only question is like, I believe that Bloomberg and VGC believe their sources, but like my question is, who are their sources? Like, are their sources Platinum Games people? Because like, are they necessarily reliable when it comes to this? Because Kamiya could have told a couple of employees, hey, leak this to these guys so that we get them off our back. So like, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, what do we think about?
No, and you're so right, dude. Because like no one stopped for a second to think that. Instead, people were like, Helena lied to us. It's like, well, relax, guys. Like we don't know the actual truth. It's all hearsay right now.
Yeah.
The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, to be honest.
Yeah.
It could be like a miscommunication too. Like, I mean, at this point, it's hard to believe that as well. But like the fact that 4,000 is like a common number that's popping up, that she thought she was just going to get paid $4,000, but it's actually $4,000 per session. Maybe that was like a mix up. I don't know, but I know $4,000 is alone, like for the entire game, would have been not enough. $4,000 per session is definitely different. I mean, I'm not someone who can say what her work is worth, but I know it's worth more than $4,000. I don't even know if $15,000 is enough, but yeah, it's a huge game. She should be paid accordingly for that because she's literally the star of the game. But yeah, I agree with you where I think this truth is somewhere in the middle, that Helena deserved more. Was she offered more? Maybe, but if she believed that her work was still worth more than that, then she has every right to walk away from that.
Yeah. I should also note that like $4,000. Let's just say call it 4,000 per session, just to make it easier. Per session is still more than double to what other voice actors get for their normal roles. Like usually it's like as high as 1,500 or as low as 50. And this is per other reports, just like in the UK. So it varies, and she was getting reportedly like so much more. I do agree though, like what a lot of consensus has been from the people that I follow on Twitter is like the most important thing to take away from this is that it is important to have like healthy discussions online, to have transparent discussions, I should say, not healthy, transparent about pay, not just in the voice actor industry, but across like the entire industry. Like make sure people are getting paid properly for their roles and not getting screwed left and right. I completely forgot about this as well, but like, you know, there's a report this week of a Rooster Teeth employee who was being paid less than what, $30,000? Like she was the lowest. The person above her on the pay scale was $30,000 above her, which is insane.
Wow.
Right?
I agree that all voice actors and just everybody in the industry should be paid accordingly. It's just so, it blows my mind so much that the people who literally make these games happen, the people that make sure that these are $1 million franchises, are getting paid the least out of everybody. Like the people who just say like, yeah, do this game, are getting the most. Like you did literally nothing. You did nothing. Right. And you're getting all these bonuses, and it's crazy. It blows my mind. But I also want to say, if Platinum Games wanted to save money, it is weird that they went with Jennifer Hale, who is like a super acclaimed voice actor with a amazing resume, who probably costs just as much as Helena, or maybe more.
Or more. But, and here's the thing, dude. Part of the reason why
I think No,
we caught all of that. Part of the reason why I think they wanted to save money is that they had to hire union voice actors for other roles in the game, which would cost more money because they're union members, and you have to pay them what they're actually worth. And so, I mean, it makes sense. Like if Helena was like a non-union voice actor, I don't know if she is or not, it would probably offer her less because they already had to put cost of the other game towards the other actors. So who knows?
Not good.
Not good is my summary of this whole situation as well. It's just very messy. Messy. It sucks that it happened in this way, but I'm glad it opened the door for more conversations about pay in the video game industry, which I think need to happen more often.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, when am I going to get paid more?
Or at all?
No, sorry, not for this. For my actual job.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway. Thoughts? Oh no, Ro did cut out. He was frozen. I didn't even realize he was frozen, dude.
Oh, I didn't either.
I thought he was just vibing and reading something online.
That's all right. He'll rejoin us, I'm sure.
Poor Ro. I think ever since the great Canada internet outage.
Apparently that's broken.
You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast.
As we try to fix Ro coming back, let's move on to our fantasy draft check. And there were a couple of games that came out this week. I think mine and Ro's included. Did we talk about Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope yet?
I don't think it was out yet last week, so no. Or reviews weren't out yet.
But they were out this week, and Ro picked that up to some great points. Let's go see what he has received. Current 86 on OpenCritic, so he should be getting 86 points sometime today or tomorrow when that finally
16.
releases. What did I say?
86.
Yeah, 16 points. 86 on OpenCritic, he'll receive 16 points.
Congrats.
Thank you, Dan.
Congrats, Ro. You won Fantasy Critic just from one game. 86 points.
Could you imagine?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Did anybody pick up Scorn in our draft? I don't think anybody did.
I don't think so, yeah.
No, I did.
Oh.
I was gonna.
Oh, shut up, dude! This was at 71 a couple days ago. It's now dropped to 69.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Meaning I'm gonna lose a
not nice.
point.
Oh.
Oh, no, I see what you did. Yeah, I didn't even catch that.
Is that
That's rough.
It's at a fine 0. You don't lose or get any.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. That sucks. Switch Sports let me down. I should have known. Anyway, I got everything riding on Signalis next week, 1027. I don't think
That looks
anybody
like a
picked
good
up.
one.
Yeah. Did anybody pick up a Plague Tale?
Nope.
Gage.
No.
A Plague Tale Requiem. 84 on OpenCritic.
It's not
14
bad.
points for Gage. Not bad.
He still has a lot of games that are not releasing on his list here.
Also, a lot of games. He needs 3 more games to buy. Or sorry, 4 is
Yeah.
counterpick.
There's actually quite a bit still out there. I was looking at it the other day and I was like, wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look out for Among Us VR. I'm telling you. Sleeper it. And still, Bone Lab, no reviews. Whatever. Whatever. Let's move on.
You want a little sleeper here? New Tales from the Borderlands available still, and that comes out 10/21.
Wow.
We should be looking out for your Warhammer game.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
It previewed great.
New Tales of the Borderlands comes out Friday?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
The bad thing is none of us can pick it up now, or at least I don't think it'll let you because the
Yeah,
reviews
it's
will
Saturday.
already- yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Let's move on to our Oh, yeah, sorry.
Just a technical thing I wanted to let you guys know. I might just go on my phone and through voice because I'm still like dipping in and out through the internet. Just going to use my data and so I don't disconnect again.
Sounds good.
All right. I'll
In the
keep my
meantime-
camera on though if it stays.
Oh, swag. Okay. In the meantime, let's move over to our PX. I'm sorry, I have the wrong doc up. Let's move over to our PXN best of. Of course, this month, October, it's best horror games. Although Ro has opted out, we did run a poll, and now we have our 3 final competitors. I forgot to vote my own poll. I normally don't for the first round, although I should have because I wanted PT to win. It didn't. Instead, Dead Space won, and that is going up against 2 Resident Evil games. I am going to fucking lose. It is going up against Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is Gage's pick, and then Dan's pick was Resident Evil 4. Stiff competition for our survival horror beloved games.
Indeed. It's going to be interesting. Can I
Ro is back.
Can I be dethroned?
I don't know. That's the question I'm going to pose right now. Ro, will Dan be dethroned? Dead Space versus RE2. Make sure your phone is unlocked from.
Oops. Yes, we're
Dead
gonna make
Space
sure that
versus-
Dan is dethroned for sure.
Wow.
Absolutely,
Okay.
I will make sure of it.
I'm gonna learn Gage's tricks and just go on a Resident Evil forum and wait, actually that might help Gage too. Actually, never mind.
Yeah. We all got to put our chips on RE2 Remake.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry
Let's
for
move on.
anyone who may be watching this unflattering angle. My
That's so
God.
funny.
Okay, there we go.
Let's finally move into what you got for me. Daniel, start
Yep.
with you. What you been up to this week?
Well, I didn't continue Last of Us yet. I didn't.
What a surprise.
I didn't have much time this week. You know, people clamoring for me to play them in rematches in NHL 22, Glenn, and you know, I'll just say that the USA Americans beat those Canadians. You know,
Whoa,
so yeah.
you know.
Get wrecked. Anywho, and the normal Halo Infinite, of course. So we got a cool drop of the winter update that They released a like 10-minute trailer deep diving into what's coming in the winter update next month. Very excited for that. Forge finally coming. So yes, can't wait.
When does that come out? November what?
November 15th or 8th, something like that. I don't know exactly.
All right. You have 1 week to beat Ragnarok. Dan.
Yeah, that's going to be a tall task, especially since that's going to be like probably a 30 to 40 hour game.
Which means you have 2 weeks to beat The Last of Us. Sorry, 3 weeks for to beat The Last of Us. That's plenty of time. 3 weeks?
Yeah, but also Modern Warfare comes out tomorrow. So
yeah, but like whatever. That's a 10-hour campaign. You'll sit through that easy.
We'll see. We'll see, Christian.
Ro, what you been up to?
I have been playing 2 games. I've been playing Potionomics, which you may have, I wasn't here, I may have missed it, you may have brought it up, but I picked it up in the fantasy drafts as well. The Potionomics is a store shop simulator. It's you're a potion seller, and you just inherited your potion shop from your dead uncle, and you're just trying to make it through the day, selling potions, making and paying off your uncle's debt, who he left that to you because he sucks. But you're also competing in competitions with other NPCs who are also merchants in this town. Some of them are friendly, some of them are your rivals. It's really cute. I've had this on my list for a while, just because of the animation and like it's just a really cute style. And but the systems are really cool. It's like a deck building thing. So when you're trying to sell the potions that you make during the night, like everything's on a time-based system. So you brew some potions and that'll take up 2 time slots. And then while the potion's brewing, you would sell the ones that you've already made. And when you are selling them, you're haggling and you're using cards that you've found throughout the world by talking to different NPCs and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Has a really cool loop to it. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. And I'm also playing Cyberpunk 2077. I have reached the point of no return. So I've been doing some side missions, making sure I wrapped up most things that I wanted to wrap up. Finished Pan Am story and a bunch of others. So I'm excited to see how it all ends, and see if I could hopefully continue playing. I'm sure because there's like DLC coming, so I'm sure there's going to be some sort of twist where I will be able to keep playing past the point of no return, quote unquote. But yeah, it's a fun time. I'm really enjoying Cyberpunk. I wasn't expecting to like it this much, but I'm really liking it.
Fake Bayonetta fan. Just abandoned Bayonetta 2.
I did. I'll get back to it eventually, but I don't know if I'm going to play Bayonetta 3 right away, so I'm saving Bayo 2 now.
I did beat Bayonetta 2, and I have to apologize for my thoughts last week. Last week I said, man, what did I say last week? I was really hard on Bayonetta 2.
So the cutscenes were like really getting to you.
I still stand by that. I think a bit more production. Again, it launched on Wii U. I understand that. I don't know how much money it had for much production to actually do full-fledged cutscenes. And I get it. Like Bayonetta 1 also had these still cutscenes. I wish they had less of them in Bayonetta 2, but like it's fine. Whatever. I moved past that. Whatever. My thing that I said on last week is that I didn't think the enemies were as varied as Bayonetta 1. I played one more chapter that night after the podcast, and like I saw different enemies, and like without I can't say specifics, it spoils the game. And I was like, oh no, okay, this is where the game actually starts now, and this rocks. There's enemies from like the first game in the section that I was playing, and like I was having a great time. Bayonetta 2, of course, a very good game. Great. I think I like Bayonetta 1 more still. I still stand by that. But yeah, very cool game. I also started up Scorn on PC via Xbox Game Pass. And I know I talked about it privately in the chat, but publicly I should say this game is disgusting. It makes me feel uneasy. It is scary, even though I know it's not really it's a horror game just because of its own environment. And yet I think I love it. I also think I hate it. I constantly think I'm frustrated. I don't feel like playing it, and yet I want to keep going, and I'm fascinated by the environment. what an interesting game Scorn is for me, dude. Like, I think its biggest detriment is that it almost kind of looks like a shooter, and it's not. And the combat, like, really, there's combat in the game, and I think it's the by far the weakest. Because the weapons that you're given are still they're kind of tools that you also use for like puzzles and traversal in the environment. And like that is what the game is. And Maria, aka Eurothug, said it best on Twitter. Said this game is fleshy mist, and that's 1,000% right. It's just a walking sim inside a nightmare, hellishscape, H.R. Giger, Cronenberg inspired environment where you're just solving puzzles. And if you're into that, then you'll love Scorn, probably. And if not, then skip it. I'm enjoying it. I'm in almost at the end of Act 3, and there are 5 acts. It's not a long game. 6 hours, I think, is the average. So I might finish it. We'll see. We'll see.
Gage is playing, Christian.
Tell me.
I'm sorry. I assumed you were done. Are you done?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm sure we're not.
Sorry. I was trying to step in right before you switched the topic, so I just didn't want to make sure I didn't want to cut you off. I'm sorry, Christian.
Keep going. No, you already started. Keep going.
Gage played Chivalry 2, Medieval Dynasty, and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, which I forgot I actually played Chivalry 2 with him, and I do not like that game.
You like all the screaming?
Yeah, it's I just didn't like it. It's just it's just constant sword fighting, and it got very monotonous. Like I played one match, and I was like, I feel like I got my fill of this game. Like it was very the same thing over and over again. So, and actually playing it made me want to go play Rise, Son of Rome again, because I loved that game. I thought that game was awesome. Like a lot of people, hated it because of the quick time mechanics or whatever, but like I saw those more so as like the Doom type glory kill type things, so I thought that was cool. So
yeah we all have our our box franchise games that we kind of stand by. I enjoyed the Order 1886.
Yeah,
I'm glad I picked it up for $5 instead of 60, but whatever.
It's fair.
Let's move on. Our final segment, long awaited topic of the show. Silent Hill returns, baby. I have the recap for today from Konami's Silent Hill Transmissions. This is an update on all things Silent Hill. I'm actually going to move backwards, starting from the bottom and going up. According to this list, actually, I'm going to start here in the middle and then go backwards. So if you're on the dock, you can see what I'm highlighting. This is where I'm going to start. A Silent Hill movie called Return to Silent Hill is in the works. It's a new movie based on the Silent Hill 2 game, and is directed by Christopher Gans, director of Silent Hill 2006, which people did not like. They weren't huge on this movie. So we'll see how Return to Silent Hill goes. Will I check it out? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Okay, that's what I thought. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
We can move on. Awesome. Cool. The weirdest game announced today. Very strange title. Kind of hilarious considering what this letter means on the internet. Silent Hill F has been announced. It is developed by Neobards Entertainment, developers of Reverse, which is not out yet. And this is cool. So the story is by Ryukishi07 of I almost said Hamaguchi. That's not right. He is a famed Japanese writer of murder mysteries. You might know him from the manga series Higurashi. This is probably his most famous work. So it should be a very scary game. This, I think, is set in 1960s Japan, set in the, I think, neighborhood that inspired the original Silent Hill series. So this could be pretty cool. You may not have much thoughts here, and that's okay. So I don't think I do either.
I don't have much thoughts, but I think this was my favorite trailer. Like visually, I thought this was the coolest one that we saw. And disclaimer, I'm not a huge Silent Hill fan. You guys know I'm not a huge horror person in the first place.
Sure.
But this one was the most visually interesting to me. with all the flowers and the fungus and stuff like that. It looks really cool.
Do we know
The flowers and the Tell me.
Do we know who's actually developing this?
Yes,
Oh,
I said it.
Oh,
Come on now.
I apologize.
Keep up. Neobards Entertainment, developers of Reavers.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's
Is
also on the dock.
I apologize, Chris.
Literally right
I
there.
literally could have read it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Reverse, as in the new Resident Evil.
Oh.
multiplayer game, right?
Yes.
Which I also talked about earlier. in the
Oh,
show, if
yes.
Dan paid attention.
I'm sorry. Yep. I'm dumb.
Okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
Well, let's just move on to another interesting one. Maybe Dan will pay attention here. Silent Hill Ascension. This is being developed by Genvid Entertainment and Bad Robot Games. We knew that Bad Robot was getting into games for a while now. We didn't know what they were going to do. Well, lo and behold, here it is. It's Silent Hill Ascension. It's live 2023, which it's an important distinction to make. And the quote was, "Face your trauma together." And there was a lot of like Twitch chat looking things popping up during the trailer. And so, like, what is this game going to be? It's made to be like a shared experience with like it was influenced by like streamers streaming scary games and chat popping off. So it's an interactive experience game. What that looks like, who the F knows?
Is it like
Could
a... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, bro.
You might be about to say what I'm about to say. It could be similar to like the Until Dawn games. I'm blanking on
the
this,
Quarry
like,
and
yeah, stuff like that.
yeah.
That I think that would be cool in the Silent Hill universe.
I think so too.
I
All
was
right, what were you going to say, Dan?
I was actually gonna say that Netflix interactive show. What was that
yes.
called?
Like Bandersnatch.
That's where I went to
Yes,
too.
bad. Yeah,
Bandersnatch.
exactly. So, I don't know.
I would love it if it was something actually closer to what Dan is saying, like something you watch together and then decide. That would be fan. And you can Twitch integrate with chat. That would be awesome. Also, we could maybe do that as a PXN plays.
Oh,
Would Ro show up?
I'll be in the chat. I'll be the one telling you guys not to go any further.
Yeah.
With
Close
all
the
the lights
stream.
on.
Yeah. My personal favorite, Silent Hill Townfall, is being developed by No Code, which I've talked about last week via the game. No, I don't think I brought this game up. I written it down, but I didn't bring it up. Observation. Play Observation. Fantastic game. They also made Stories Untold. So it's developed by No Code, being published by Annapurna, and this shit is gonna rock so hard. I promise you. Put it on whatever you want. I promise you. This is gonna be the best rated game out of all of these, including what I'm gonna talk about next. Okay?
Really?
I
Promise you.
Wow.
I promise you.
I trust Christian.
I trust you. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that freaking trailer, dude. Tell me that trailer isn't
cool.
hot.
It was cool.
Yeah. Come on now. People should listen to me more. I'm right. I'm right at least 60% of the time, if not
Yeah.
70. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Dan, pay attention to Christian for crying out loud.
Yeah. The 30% that you're wrong on includes Halo 3 is the greatest video game of all time.
Listen, and we lost. I lost that one, and that's fine. Whatever. Let's move on. I should say I was part of this stream. I was watching it live. Konami did not release this video as a premiere, meaning it just at a certain time it just launched. So the first 10 minutes of the video is just empty fog, and then it leads into a countdown, which you can just scrub past. You can scrub past the entire thing because again, it wasn't a premiere. So they kind of messed this thing up. But anyway, Silent Hill 2 remake. It's a real thing. It is being developed by Bloober. It is a PS5 console exclusive for 1 year, and is also available on PC. Let me tell you some things. I'm gonna actually delete this because I don't think that's true. Masahiro Ito is back, baby. The art designer of the Silent Hill series, basically, is back. Also back, Akira Yamaoka returns to compose new themes for Silent Hill. Fun fact during his stream is that when he was composing the Silent Hill 2 themes, he was told to read Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment to prepare for the actual game, which is an insane thing to assign someone. Do you know how long Crime and Punishment is? You read this fucking fat book and then come back and like just go pop off on the theme. Anyway,
Quick read.
quick read. Mateus Lenart is the creative director. Who is the creative director of The Medium? Is the lead director of Silent Hill 2 remake, which is a big for me.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
last, oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I again, not the horror guy, but I know that Medium wasn't received as well as people had hoped.
None of Bloober games have been received.
Oh god. Okay.
Well, here's the interesting part. They're modernizing the gameplay, which of course is probably necessary. And they're moving to an over-the-shoulder camera. So it's very much the very same shift from like how RE2 was its tank controls and fixed point cameras around the game. Very similar to how RE2 Remake is not that, right? It's over the shoulder and modernized gameplay. Silent Hill 2 Remake is doing the exact same thing. So the concern is, for me, is can they do good gameplay? I don't know if they can yet. We got one snippet of it, and it looks like it's very similar to what Silent Hill Homecoming was. But my biggest thing is, are they going to do right by the story? Is it a one-to-one translation? If they do it as that way, I think people are going to be more positive on the game. If they do any kind of rewrites or any kind of interpretation, this is where they fall into the trap of you should have just left it, because Bloober, from what I've heard from all their games, don't nail their stories pretty well. They kind of fumble them pretty hard. How are you feeling on Silent Hill 2 Remake?
Layers of Fear people and Blair Witch. Oh, interesting.
I would say that I was actually really hyped to play Blair Witch before that came out, and then I played it and I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. The gameplay was not there at all. So for me anyways, so yeah, I didn't even play The Medium, but yeah, there was kind of mixed reviews on that. So yeah, The Medium had some ideas that I think were interesting, but I don't know. I guess it didn't pan out for them.
So like a couple of takeaways that I've seen online from The Medium is, and like it's borderline like problematic, I guess, is the thing, like, or just not a very healthy way to come off these themes, is like abusers. I'll go to the abused can never be redeemed was like the takeaway, and that like the best option for those who are abused is to die was one thing, and then I guess spoilers, I guess, for The Medium if anyone cares. No one?
You go for it.
I don't care.
I definitely don't.
Like a
Oh god.
they attempted to there's no way around this. I'll have to say I have to say a trigger warning before I say this. They attempted to redeem a pedophile from the main story, which is kind of a dicey thing to do. In my
humble opinion, like a bit of a hot take. I don't know.
I don't know. Is that even dicey? Like, I think that's just disgusting. Like, what the hell?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know
what
if
I've
there's
read.
any...
By the way,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I again, like you were saying, they have a story laid out for them. One of the, I mean, from what I've heard, one of the most critically acclaimed horror games out there, Silent Hill 2. People love that. So they've got the story. They just don't have to mess that part up. But from what I'm hearing, the gameplay is also an issue with this team. So they have to nail that too. So yeah, they've got a lot to prove. It's an interesting choice for a studio for bringing back Silent Hill. So hopefully they're up to the task and can nail it. I wish them the best, but as you guys are saying, the history of their works isn't very good.
So the thing that you really have to worry about is where they take their creative liberties. And I think the one for me is going to be in terms of acting. Because obviously, if you go back to Silent Hill 2, like that whole PS2 era, like games, like line delivery is not the greatest, right? But that's like part of its charm of older games. Like that's actually part of why people enjoy Silent Hill 2 so much, is because of its kind of quirkiness, right? It adds a certain kind of character to it. And so you have to take those creative liberties to make it a more modern game, because you want to have like top of the line acting and make a certain tone and atmosphere come across. And so the concern is going to be if they can nail that. And there's people already really dissecting the line deliveries of the main character James from the original and then the remake, and how different like his state of mind is seeming between the two. That's gonna be a big one. My question to you is if you are going to try Silent Hill 2 based on this. Ro might be a no, and that's okay because you don't like the genre. But Dan's kind of a survival horror fan. What do you think?
I would say I have to see more. But like if I see more and like I'm, down for the vibe and it looks good and performance is good and everything, then yeah, I'll probably pick this up. Yeah, I think it's hopefully maybe something that Bloober could figure out and say, hey, this is a remake, we're not having to create our own ideas. Like, we can do this. Let's just, focus on making this a modernized version of this great game. And I feel like a team that's done very well for that is Blue Point, as we've seen them make a bunch of great remakes. So maybe Bloober Team can figure that out here and say, hey, we're actually pretty good at doing some remakes, and maybe they'll, work on some more stuff like that in the future. So,
sure.
Yeah, just I just want to see more and see what we get out of it.
There's another thing here. Konami, back to making games. I mean, a ton of them, right? I mean, they're not. I say they're making them, right? There's like no Konami team, right? But they're publishing these games.
Yep.
There are reports that it wasn't just Silent Hill coming back, that it was also going to be Metal Gear, and there was one other game. I can't remember what it was. It's not Parasite Eve. Anyway, does this set a precedent? Are we seeing, is this the beginning of a renaissance for Konami? Like, are they going to make a kind of comeback?
I don't know if the game that you're thinking of was Suikoden, which was already announced already. Not that one. Okay.
No.
But yeah, with that, even with that announcement in mind, and Silent Hill, it does seem like they're trying to revive some of their more popular franchises like Silent Hill and Suikoden. It would be great if Metal Gear joined that roster too, but without Kojima, it just doesn't feel the same sometimes. But yeah, Christian, or you're just gonna say, yeah, it wouldn't feel the same, but I'm sure people would like some remasters and remakes of those games too. But yeah, the blooper thing obviously is putting a bad taste in people's mouth, but they've gotten more. It's not just Silent Hill 2 that's coming back. They've got all these other games that could hopefully land well and keep the Silent Hill train rolling. So it's not all just in Blooper's hands, which is good. But yeah, I'm hoping that this is the start of Konami coming back. There was another game an indie game that they're publishing. It's like a Space Invaders game that looks really, really cool. So I'm hoping that they publish some things outside of their big names too, and they're getting back into it. That'd be cool. Because they had a pretty rough couple of years with the whole Konami, and for good reason. They did not treat Kojima very right.
They put him in a basin by himself.
Yeah. So like all the hate is warranted for sure, but I like a good redemption story. So if they're willing to change their ways and actually be a good guy, I'm all for it.
I think you hit it spot on, Ro, when you said Kojima without Metal Gear, or Metal Gear without Kojima is going to be hitting different. And I think the important thing is going to be like what teams Konami can find to work on these games. So like who will be the best team to work on Metal Gear, and who will be the best team to work on Castlevania, like you said, Christian, that's coming back as well. It'll be interesting. I don't know what those teams are, to be honest, because Metal Gear is such a unique franchise. I honestly, I've got none that come to mind when it comes to Metal Gear. Some kind of open world developer, maybe.
Ubisoft.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Shut the bro. Disconnect from the fucking call right now.
You got to capture the watchtowers that have,
Oh,
reconnaissance information in there. But I don't know.
Literally, all I want is for Konami to put the games back up for sale online. They said they were going to do that a couple months ago. They're still not up, and like I would like to play the PS2 version, on PC of Silent Hill. I would want to play the Metal Gear games again on PC. I don't care for remakes for those to be honest, because I don't know if they'll work. So Silent Hill 2 remake is going to be like the testing ground for if these kinds of remakes will work, and so we'll have to wait and see. A lot riding on it, to be honest. It's the return of a huge franchise.
Yeah.
A little bit niche, but still pretty big.
Yeah.
My last question is, it's the survival horror renaissance. It's back in full swing. It's hitting hard.
Yes.
It's going up against RE4 remake, which is highly anticipated. Dead Space remake, which looks massive, just gorgeous. And Callisto Protocol, which again looks really great. Is there space for a Silent Hill 2 remake?
If it's done well,
In this
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think there's a lot of room for Silent Hill. People have been wanting this so badly. It just needs to land well. But I think there's space for it if Bloober can deliver for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Christian, don't forget about like the 12 other games that were at Jeff Keighley's show.
Oh, there's tons. Yeah, no, I haven't. Yeah. I mean, I forgot their names already.
Yeah,
I said one last week, and I totally forgot about it. I forgot its name already. Something. It's not Recompile. Anyway. Yeah, the thing for me is, a couple of years ago, we were like really having conversations about like, why are we having so many remakes and remasters? Let's get new games on the market. We're getting like new consoles. We're sick of remakes. And now we're at the point where like these remakes, if done right with proper care, are actually hitting pretty well and are engaging a new audience and having new life in these franchises. I think this will be huge for Dead Space. It's been massive for Resident Evil.
Yeah.
The Last of Us, I mean, that's already a banger. That game got a remake. We've had those discussions before. We won't have it again. And yeah, I think this is really big for Silent Hill, but also really big for Konami. And if it comes out and it's good, then this will breathe a lot of life into not just this franchise, but all of Konami's franchises, period. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Big things ahead.
The generation of remakes and reboots. Tomorrow, Modern Warfare 2 reboot.
Oh God.
Holy
God
shit! I mean, yeah, you're right.
Oh God.
But those
Horizon
games
is
are
on the way.
different.
That's true. Yeah.
Bro, I hope not. I hope not. Yeah.
If Jim Ryan has his way, he's gonna milk that money out of you, Christian.
My God.
I'll refuse. I'll turn my head. You think I'm gonna buy a Horizon remake? Absolutely not.
Oh, he'll make you. He'll turn you upside down and get all the coins out of you.
So that I can get one of those PlayStation Stars, like Aloy figure on my phone.
Yeah.
That I'll never look at. Anyway, that's our show. Thank you again, everyone, joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Daniel. Gage, keep chugging along. I have been Christian. I am Daniel. I'm just reading now. I'm just reading from the doc. And this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out of here.
Much love and keep on gaming.
Don't end the stream. Don't end the stream. Don't end the stream.
Do not
I forgot
do
my
it.
final question because I didn't write it down.
Oh. Final question. This is after.
Yes. This is after. I want everyone to guess the Metacritic score for Silent Hill 2 Remake right now.
I'm gonna give it a 75.
I'm gonna be optimistic and say 84.
Pretty good.
Wow. 71.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I wasn't that far off from you too, but 71 down.
71.
now-
And we are out.
see ya. I stole Roseline.
Much love and keep on gaming. I don't know.